Alright, first up is She's All That, the movie that tried to convince us Rachel Lee Cook was unattractive just because she wore glasses. Freddie Prinze Jr. makes a bet to turn her into the prom queen. The makeover scene is legendary. Lainey walks down the stairs, no glasses, and suddenly, she's a goddess. Despite its flaws, She's All That is incredibly rewatchable. Next on our list is Can't Hardly Wait, the quintessential end-of-high-school party movie. It's a glorious, chaotic mess that somehow works. The entire movie takes place over one night, at a massive graduation party. You've got Ethan Embry as Preston, pining for Amanda Beckett, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt, Seth Green as Kenny, the wannabe player, and Lauren Ambrose as Denise, the cynical best friend. The party is the stuff of legends with multiple subplots and a general sense of mayhem. It's the kind of party you either dreamed of attending or were terrified of. Can't Hardly Wait captures the heightened emotions of a night like this. Ultimately, it's a snapshot of a very specific time and type of teen movie. Drive Me Crazy. A classic fake dating trope with Melissa Joan Hart as Nicole, the preppy prom planner, and Adrian Grenier as Chase, the rebellious prankster. They pretend to date to make their exes jealous, leading to awkward moments and unexpected feelings, and of course, Britney Spears' You Drive Me Crazy is the movie's co-star. Drive Me Crazy is a light, breezy teen rom-com with a charming if unlikely couple. 10 Things I Hate About You is genuinely beloved, and for good reason. It's a clever adaptation of Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew. The premise, Bianca can't date until her sister Kat does. Kat, played by Julia Stiles, is fiercely independent. Cameron hatches a plan to pay someone to date Kat. Enter Patrick Verona, played by Heath Ledger. The script is sharp and witty, filled with memorable lines. Allison Janney as the guidance counselor is a comedic gem. 10 Things I Hate About You rose above the rest with its intelligence, humor, and heart. Oh, Never Been Kissed. This movie is a delightful cringe fest starring Drew Barrymore as Josie Geller, a 25-year-old copy editor for the Chicago Sun-Times who is, as the title suggests, tragically unkissed. She's also incredibly awkward and still haunted by her traumatic high school experience where she was known as Josie Grossie. So, naturally, her big break as a reporter involves going undercover as a student at a local high school to report on teen culture. What could possibly go wrong? Literally everything, it turns out. Josie's attempts to fit in are a masterclass in secondhand embarrassment. Her fashion choices are atrocious, that white feathered outfit. Her attempts at cool slang are painful, and she generally sticks out like a sore, very enthusiastic thumb. The popular kids initially mock her, and she finds herself reliving all her high school insecurities. It's a premise that's ripe for comedy, and Drew Barrymore throws herself into the role with gusto, making Josie both pitiable and incredibly endearing. You're rooting for her, even as you're covering your eyes during some of her more awkward moments. Ultimately, Never Been Kissed is a feel-good movie about second chances and finding the courage to be yourself, even if yourself is a bit of a dork. Now for something a little darker, a little more twisted jawbreaker. This 1999 cult classic takes the mean popular girls trope and cranks it up to 11, adding a dash of accidental homicide for good measure. It's a satire, dripping with dark humor and a vibrant, almost cartoonish aesthetic. Think Heathers, but with a late 90s pop gloss and a much more candy-coated, literally, murder weapon. The film kicks off with a birthday prank gone horribly wrong. The ruling clique Courtney, Rose McGowan, Julie, Rebecca Gayheart, and Marcy, Julie Benz, decide to kidnap their friend Liz Purr, the sweet and perfect queen bee of the group, by stuffing a jawbreaker in her mouth to keep her quiet. Unfortunately, Liz chokes and dies. Whoops! A major inconvenience for their social lives. So, what's a group of image-obsessed popular girls to do? Cover it up, obviously, and try to maintain their status at all costs. Rose McGowan is absolutely iconic as Courtney Shane, the sociopathic leader of the group. She's terrifying, manipulative, and utterly captivating to watch. Jawbreaker is a very stylized film. Let's head down to West Canaan, Texas for Varsity Blues, a movie remembered for James Van Der Beek's Texas accent and a certain whipped cream bikini. It's a flawed but strangely compelling film, blending gritty sports drama with over-the-top teen wish fulfillment. James Van Der Beek plays Jonathan Moxon, a backup quarterback who'd rather read than play football. But in Texas, football is religion, and the town's hopes rest on these teenage boys. John Voight plays Bud Kilmer, the win-at-all-costs coach. Kilmer pushes his players too hard, ignoring their injuries. When star quarterback Lance Harbor is injured, Mox steps up. He's torn between his dreams and leading the team to victory. The movie explores Mox's conflict but often gets sidetracked by subplots. The football sequences are dramatic, capturing the intensity and camaraderie. However, it indulges in cliches and exaggerated moments. Varsity Blues is easy to make fun of with its clunky dialogue and melodramatic plot points. Okay, let's be real, Clueless is a legitimately great movie. Calling it bad in any capacity feels wrong, but it absolutely fits the bill for being surprisingly fun if you somehow went into it expecting just another vapid teen comedy. It's so much more than that. It's a brilliant satire, a clever modernization of Jane Austen's Emma, and a film that single-handedly defined a generation's slang and fashion. Alicia Silverstone, Cher Horowitz, the wealthy, well-meaning and hilariously superficial Beverly Hills teenager who navigates life with a unique blend of naivety and surprising insight. She's obsessed with fashion, matchmaking, and using her powers of persuasion, and her father's credit card, to make the world a slightly better or at least more stylish place. Cher might seem like a ditz on the surface, but she's actually quite intelligent and, in her own way, very caring. Silverstone's performance is pitch perfect, making Cher lovable even when she's being, well, clueless. The supporting cast is equally fantastic. Stacey Dash as Dion, Cher's equally fashionable best friend, Donald Faison as Murray, Dion's long-suffering boyfriend, and the late, great Britney Murphy as Ty, the clueless new girl whom Cher takes on as a makeover project. Paul Rudd, in one of his earliest roles, plays Josh, Cher's socially conscious ex-stepbrother who serves as her foil and eventual love interest. What makes Clueless so enduring is its incredible wit. Time to get a little witchy with The Craft, a movie that perfectly blended teen drama with supernatural horror and became an instant cult classic. This wasn't your typical high school movie. It was darker, edgier, and tapped into that feeling of being an outsider, then gave those outsiders immense power, which as it turns out can be a bit of a double-edged sword. The story follows Sarah Bailey, Robin Tunney, a new girl in town with a troubled past and some latent magical abilities. She soon falls in with a trio of outcast girls who are rumored to be witches: Nancy, Fairuza Balk, Rochelle, Rachel True, and Bonnie, Neve Campbell. Together they form a coven, and their powers begin to grow exponentially. Initially they use their magic for typical teenage desires: revenge on bullies, attracting crushes, fixing their insecurities. It's all fun and games, and a bit of an empowerment fantasy, until things start to get out of hand. Fairuza Balk's performance as Nancy Downs is legendary. She embodies the unhinged, power-hungry witch with such intensity that she becomes one of the most memorable teen movie villains of the decade. As the girls delve deeper into magic, particularly Nancy, their spells become darker and more self-serving, leading to some serious consequences. The Craft also nailed the aesthetic. And finally, we arrive at Cruel Intentions, a movie so deliciously scandalous it practically sizzles. This late 90s gem took Les Liaisons Dangereuses to ultra-wealthy, morally bankrupt teenagers in New York City. It's a tale of manipulation, seduction, and a twisted bet between step-siblings Catherine and Sebastian. Sarah Michelle Gellar is brilliant as Catherine, the manipulative queen bee. She's a villain you love to hate. Ryan Philippe plays Sebastian, the charming bad boy. Their twisted dynamic and high-stakes bet drive the plot into dark territory. The film is filled with iconic, often provocative scenes: the infamous kiss, therapy sessions, and escalating mind games. Reese Witherspoon and Selma Blair hold their own against Gellar and Phillip. What makes Cruel Intentions